happy to be here. I know this is a different venue. Normally we're at the theater, but it's okay to be in a church because poetry too is sacred. And I began writing poetry in middle school. Many of you know this story, when a teacher came into the classroom and had us write for 15 minutes every day. I moaned and groaned. I was the loudest mouth even then. But something beautiful happened. I started writing poetry. And then to this day, of course, it stuck. And I owe it to Miss Sargent, who is Mrs. Allen now. She married a brain surgeon. She did really, really well. But anyway, beside the point, my community took me seriously as well when I was 12 years old. So when someone died, when someone got married, when they were having a celebration, they would call my mother and my father's house, our home, and ask to speak to me, a 12-year-old, to write poetry. And I would go in my room and I'd go, tell me a little bit more, tell me a little more. And they would tell me, and then I would come and I would stand behind the pulpit and I would share poetry. And I believe truly that poetry is sacred. Number one, because it saved my life. And I'll run into people who will say, I don't like poetry. Poetry is nothing but an extension of yourself. The more you write, the more you read, the more you experience, it helps you to tell your story. And I'll tell you one thing. I have twin daughters who are 27 now. One of my daughters, Celeste, when I was really, really sick, and the whole family was sick, and she came into my bedroom and she said, Mama, you know the Bible? And I looked at her like, girl, you know I know the Bible. She looked back at me and she said, the Bible is nothing but a book full of people telling their stories. And if you're not living your story, you're not alive. That was right when I was trying to make a decision, leaving the counseling field to do poetry. And I knew if I had died at that moment, I would not have lived because I was not living my story. I am so thankful to be on my 24th year, you all, of living my story. If you get nothing else from this, please remember, in the words of Celeste Scherer, my daughter, please don't tell her I'm putting her on blast because it'll give her a big head. But please, live your story. Live your story. I want to thank Leanne Farrer, VP of Education at the State Theater, who makes this possible. She is the one who had the vision of this program. Because she hired me here 9 years ago and then asked me to come back, and she kept asking me, and she said, Glenis, what do you want to do? And no one in my, at that time, 15 years of working, 10 years of working, had ever said, what is it that you want to do? And I said, I want to work with community because that's who we are. And I want to talk to people about poetry. And I want to lead them through poetry workshops. So tonight, you will hear people from all different walks of life. We'll have people from Damon House. I believe we have Franklin Middle in the house too. Anderson House. Oh no, y'all did. Anderson House showed out over there. We have some seniors from the New Brunswick Senior Resource Center. And they always say, don't let their age fool you, okay? We have Rutgers alumni in the house. We have New Brunswick Middle in the house. And we have McKinley Community School in the house. And one of our new additions that we just started this year is that we have our community workshops that we've been holding every Tuesday night. And we have given them the name of the State Theater Poetry Collective. They're in the house. Did I leave anybody out? So you all, I'm going to say just a few poems, and then I'm going to welcome our readers so we can get this poetry train running on time. And I just want to say to you that you will witness a lot tonight. You will hear other stories, but in their stories, you will also hear your story. And it's okay to shake your head. It's okay to get up a little snap when you hear something let's practice that. Little snap, little something, something. You can even go, You can even say amen if you want to. Amen. You can also say hallelujah. Hallelujah. All right, okay, some people are really going to church right now, okay? But it's okay, I'm saying it's okay to affirm each other. I think in this world, in these times, we need to, am I right about this? Yeah. Okay, I'm not going to preach tonight, but I do think we need more circles where we come together. And let this be a night of unity. Let this be a night of us experiencing one another in our hearts. You will witness people's poems. They're tackling loss, love, celebrating love, and instability, fear, longing, hope, all their dreams. And I want to just share just a clip, a little bit from a student's poem that I heard that I'm so privileged to sit in circles where people just tell me their stories. And this one middle schooler wrote, I am from a place where I'm afraid to go home because I do not know if my parents will still be there. Sent back to a place where it is not safe. You know how they say the truth comes out of the mouth of babes. And people will be here tonight facing their demons. Poetry is an act of courage. It is a bold act, what I call the radical act of love. It is easier to hate than it is to love. And this is our task, being here on this planet. I just want to tell you before they come up, you will hear some list poems where I led them through list exercises, and their tribute poems. They will be honoring people in these list poems. You will be hearing praise poems where they'll be honoring themselves and their community, their heritage, and mostly connecting with who they are. You'll hear self-portrait poems where they painted themselves with words. You'll hear music poems and letter poems, and last but not least, you'll be hearing some good old food poems as well. Because if you want to talk about culture, you need to talk about what? She said hallelujah. So I just wanted to share a couple of poems. Now I feel like New Brunswick is my home. Even though I'll be getting on the plane, going to the Carolinas tomorrow, I still feel like I never leave this place. And I make connections everywhere I go. Now when I walk in stores, I get recognized and people call me Glenis, or they call me Miss, or Poetry Lady. And I don't mind that. And I stay at the Heldrick when I'm here. And yeah, nice. I also want to give a shout out to Eric Stratton. I don't know if he's here, but he was the person who was handing the flyers out when you came in. Can we just give him a shout out? They also don't let me drive while I'm here, so they chauffeur me around, and which is a good thing because New Jersey, y'all crazy on the roads, okay? Hallelujah. Somebody said hallelujah. Can I get a witness? All right. But while I was here, while I've been here, for the last 6 years, I stayed at the Heldrick, and I make friends with the people who work there because they become my family. And there's one person in particular who, if you don't know him, you need to stop by the lobby there and meet Gregory Hall. Gregory Hall is the shoe shine man who was there. And we are kindred souls. He's retired, he used to work at J&J, but he said his passion has always been shoes. And my mother always said, you need to talk to everyone because there are angels unaware. Yep. and Gregory is my angel unaware. So this is the poem that I wrote for him. It's called Sentinel for Gregory Hall. The only thing shinier than his shoes, his spirit. Call him what they call him, Mr. Shoes, the magician, or the shoeologist. Let his shoes flap their tongues for themselves. Let the toe talk and the heel walk. See how each pair gleams like soldiers standing in a row, pressing heel to toe. Let his leather work speak for itself. Each pair points of pride. He too glistens as he listens, a beacon of light. His energy contagious as he spreads cheer from client to client, each one feeling like they're the only one. As they tell him their joys and their woes, he stands at his post, the chair at the Heldrick Hotel. He's on guard for his daily duties, immaculately dressed, slacks pressed with matching shirt and tie, ready for right action, ready for whatever comes his way. If you look around or beyond, you might miss what's right in front of your face, a walking library, a font of knowledge, a connector in the community, a guard at the gate giving more than he ever receives. With ear to heart, hand to rag, from your shoes to mine, he's the shine of the times, polishing more than wingtips, more than boot heel, for all who step up, making every soul shine. And I'm going to just do one more poem, and it's honoring who is a tribute poem for my poetry mother. And I just want, by the way, I want to say to all the mothers in the house, Happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day. And also to those of you who act as mothers who don't have physical children, because we mother in so many ways, Happy Mother's Day to you too. This is for my poetry mother. My poetry mother is Maya Angelou, and we know that she passed in 2014. And without Maya Angelou, I would not be who I am today. It was her story about being violated when she was young that she wrote in the I Know Why the Cage Bird Sings. And she was mute for 5 years, y'all, after that happened, because somebody killed the man who violated her. And she thought with her young voice at 8 years old that she did it. So she did not speak for 8 years. But she had a Sunday school teacher who took an interest in her. And all the time she would just say, Marguerite, because that was her name, Marguerite, you know what? We share poetry, we read together, but you're gonna need to speak it. So one day she opened her mouth and she spoke poetry. And she became one of the most premier, celebrated griots, mother poets of our country. And she has poems like Still I Rise and Phenomenal Woman. And this is me honoring her. Cage bird sings because she's born bound. Blues through shut doors with throat open wide. Sings raw truth. She sings because singing be better than weeping. Ask Billy, ask Nina. Cage bird sings because the sky calls and she's more wild than cage. She beats wings against bars, makes music with pen upon paper, upon heart. She sings because her dark skin mirrors the night sky. Deep down, she knows not everybody loves her back. Not everybody loves her black velvet against moonshine. Knows her full lips and even fuller nose in this white world be acquired taste. She sings because she can't erase Ron Clark's doll experiments circa 1950s. Proves what everybody knows. White child picks white doll. Black child picks white doll still. She sings because Stamps, Arkansas, and Sumter, South Carolina holds black girls the same way, dome squash with low expectation. Cagebird sings because her broken wing hurt did not start with her. She's been passed down from a long line of broken wing birds that cannot fly. Cagebird sings because she needs exit strategies. Read Maya Angelou books like Road Maps. Conducts her own experiment. Instead of dolls, black girl chooses black woman self, takes herself off the shelf, sings over and over and over again. Phenomenal woman, phenomenally, until she believes, that's me. That's me.
Songs of my fathers. I was your sunshine, your only sunshine, who made you happy when skies were gray. I sat on your lap, you serenaded my heart, as your hand tucked wisps of my hair around the curve of my ear. We sang our song, our just you and me song, before I knew that sunshine could be taken away. You were the accordion man for us all, Dad. Downstairs you would play, on swings we'd fly high, squealing with the hinges and making up words to beer barrel polka, que sera, sera. Whatever will be, the future's not ours to see. But when your sunshine was just 11 years old, all the music screeched to a halt. Somehow, accordion songs turned into funeral hymns, sung by a high-pitched stranger way up in a balcony in a dark church, and I just wanted to make her stop. It still makes me cry decades later, but I know I'm still your sunshine girl, because time can't change a thing like that. But time can return music to a little girl's world. Notes can float in on Menon aftershave and glide out Frank Sinatra smooth from stereo speakers. Here is the best part, you've got a head start if you are among the very young at heart. Well, that 36-year-old bachelor swept Mom off her feet and adopted the whole quintet of us to sing life with. And soon a teenage girl tanned herself smiling by a pool, soaking up Beach Boy innocence like sunscreen, wishing she too could be a California girl. But drop by drop, through cycles of 4 seasons, it was a hard rain that began to fall. My 19-year-old heart struggled under heavy-handed control and saw, from the time I could speak, I was ordered to listen, and now it was just them they knew, not me. And all the times that I cried, keeping all the tears I knew inside, got harder and harder to ignore, and I knew I had to go away. 3 years, no contact, but Dad tried to be a bridge over troubled water between mother and daughter. And by God's grace, one by one, broken hearts found repentance. But I remained a lone leaf blowing in the wind. No direction home, no satisfaction within, though I tried and I tried and I tried and I tried. And another year passed, I was stuck in my pride. But the elusive finally did beckon me on sweet wings of amazing grace. His voice to my heart was the sweetest of sounds, the night when what was lost was now found. New songs arose joyfully, Blessed assurance, Jesus is mine. 40 years still my song, and will be till the day when with fathers and mother and each of 4 brothers, in perfect pitch we'll sing around the throne of the King in a circle unbroken in the sky. Thank you.
The name of my poem is Progress and Perfection. No one is perfect. We can only be perfected. Perfected as a blossom flower from a crying sky. Help me like I help you. Just understand what I need, definitely what I want. No one is perfect. We can only be perfected. See me like I will see you. Don't see me as a man, black, blue, green, tall, or even skinny. See me as a human, scratch that. Just see me as what you would want to be seen as. Bold, beautiful, smart, even intelligent if you ask me. No one is perfect, we can only be perfected. Crimes, death, tragedy, chaos, just know my reference ain't my preference. It's crazy how a letter can change a person's feelings. Like I said before, no one is perfect, we can only be perfected. Thank you.
I am 5'8" of the cross-up bruises from my opponent, the one who loses. I am a megalodon, huge and feared in a way, but no one can see me because I am extinct today. Red, white, and blue, I draw, I sketch, I paint, talking about America. Yet I'm like a ticking time bomb, ready to detonate. I stump up ideas like Mother Nature does earthquakes. My ideas so brilliant, they can make the earth shake. When I draw, I can't stop, but that's all part of the plan. All of my skills are so hot, the sun will need a fan. I'm a huge part in this world, and this is who I am. Thank you. All right.
Smile loud, a tribute to my mother. You taught me how to smile, smile big, smile with love, smile at everyone. Smile loud, smile even when it hurts. Let me hear you smile, you always say. You taught me how to love family, love friends, love strangers, love myself. Most importantly, love God. You taught me how to give love, give time, give effort, give of myself. Most importantly, give thanks. You taught me how to share with my brother, share with you and Daddy. Most importantly, share with God. You taught me how to be a mother, how to give your children your smile, how to love them unconditionally, how to share your love for God, yourself, and others. And let me hear you smile when you do it.
Yo, my life. This girl is all 5 feet and 2 inches of attitude. My ego and my brains are as big as a lion's mane. I am the wind under my nana's wings. Me, my mama's very own patient. I am Oprah's very own fan in the stand. When it comes to my life, I fly high. I yell my life in a chair like no one's listening.
Deep thought. Did they have a thought of me on that long drive up to Jersey from the fruit farms of Georgia at the beginning of the Great Migration? Or even as my Harlem Hell-fighting great-grandfather lay in the trenches, did he think of me? Something deep inside assures me that they did. Although never discussed while soaking up the sun and eating whole watermelons on the back of that old pickup truck, I know they too knew I could make it through. That dream, protected by love and God, that never let the vision of drugs, will whirlwind it straight into the buildings we all lived in. A twister full of passion my twin truly was, yet she still showed love. Knowledge is power, she stayed preaching, which is exactly why I'm here with you this evening. I think of their dreams while dreaming my dreams. I love breathing that country air, yet the hustle of the city pumps through my veins. Hunger for success prevents me from settling for less. The ambition of souls joined together to create this boy. Oh boys, where is that pride of third shift working mothers and corner hugging fathers? Young queens, do you not see that you are royalty? Grown out of bellies of past queens who sacrifice their own dreams to see you shine. Don't let their grind ever leave your mind. Salute to all those praying grandparents who our youth never seem to appreciate. As I feel the sun rise like an open city window cross breeze, let me leave you with this intriguing thought of a day when we all will become engulfed in knowledge to exceed just enough and obtain more than enough.
All right.
You helped me go through many things like sadness with your music. This did help and made me not feel sick. I would come home and many horrific things would happen, but listening to For Your Eyes Only left me with a strike like I just got hit with your words that came out of a weapon. I would know how to respect others, or at least I try. But with you teaching me more, I had no reason to not let respect fly. I learned for you giving respect to everyone, so I decided to not give respect to none. You also gave justice for those who are in need, and I didn't leave anyone to fall and bleed. You did fight for fairness, and you always did, while others didn't believe and go back to their so-called crib. You taught me to speak up, which so far I feel I'm doing great, but don't give up on giving that chance to others, so don't let that get off easily on your plate. You also taught me anyone has a voice, me, you, him, or her. Not only a famous person has a voice. I've always been an underdog, and I feel like I beat the odds.
Alright, my 6-year-old self. Here I am, 6 years old. Heart of a lion, yet not feeling too smart. Strong as an ox and quick as a fox. From the gridiron to soccer fields. As time went on, I lost interest in all those kid things. Became the man of the house and turned to the streets for guidance. But all I really did was chase off mom's dove. Growing up being selfish and dumb, falling head over heels for my true love. Turning her into my spring dove. 3 years later, had my heart ripped out, which was never healed until I found my real true love inside that needle. Mind turned feeble, life became all twisted and evil. And all that was found was heartache and pain. Wishing I could go back to simple ways like dirt on sneakers. So instead of chasing that high, it's time to say goodbye. Time to chase sobriety like kids playing tag, or my 6-year-old self chasing soccer balls on Sunday. It's time to be successful and score that life goal. And never forget to remind myself, it's okay, kid, you grow every day.
Well, since everyone know my name, I will still say it. My name is Edwina Armstrong. The title of my poem is Wisecracker. He is a wisecracker, never at rest. He still make me laugh. At times, he has even joked about me and everything he knew I did. He was as funny as Red Fox, always a comedian, but he never made it big. But now a great voice has been silent. After a stroke, his voice is now only a whisper. When I visit him, I tell him some of his jokes. It goes like this. This is the one I tell him. The judge said, order, order in the court. The defendant says, I would like a ham sandwich. His laughter goes on like my joy of him. When we were 6 years old, I'm 11 days old in him. His mother moved him from Florida to Georgia. He stayed next door, and my life haven't been the same. He's always a prankster and a joker, but I love him dearly. And now, you couldn't understand him, but as I say, his voice is coming back. But I tell him jokes so he can remember all the days when he made me laugh.
Hello everyone, my name is Isara Lopez, and in partnership with the Senior Center, the seniors at my high school had a super senior, and we talked to them, and my super senior is Lily Mae Napier, and I wrote a poem for her called Leaving the Cotton Field. So, from Ellaville to Cranberry, from Cranberry to New Brunswick. But let me tell you about Ellaville, Georgia. Steaming, sizzling summer days, cotton picking. Packing, particularly pleasant ones on my aching back. Feeding the unpleasant, unpeaceful, unclean pigs, painfully packing, unlasting odor. Needing nourishment, I nonchalantly nourished neck, nibbling chickens, but tired, exhausted, and worn out, I knew I wanted to leave. But I remember carrying a plate of crispy, fried, tender chicken with creamy mashed potatoes and sweet potatoes and potato salad and string beans and butter beans. I thought, how can I leave all of this behind? Especially with my mom's delicious, crusty, fluffy lemon meringue pie. A 23-year-old moves to New Jersey and she asks herself, Mom, why didn't you teach me how to cook? She had the ingredients, but didn't know how to cook. She had a license, but she didn't drive. Her name is Lily Mae Napier, and her heart is in 2 states. Thank you.
Self-portrait, face of God. I was once a child with crystal green eyes, who ran the baseball diamond with artistic ease, who wore baggy t-shirts down to his knees. Sports and girls is how I was pleased. The loudest one in class, a temper as short as my self-esteem, blinded by the girl of my dream, paying no mind to the one by my side. And when father died, the rebel inside showed his face, and it was off to the race. Becoming selfish, dishonest, and outright embarrassing. With God's artistic hand, he sculpted a muscular, fit young man who sees beauty all around him through those crystal green eyes. Who doesn't judge or look down, someone who gets down with you to climb back up. A young man able to face fears with our artistic ease. It's only God's will he tries to please. Still unsure of the future, trusting in him. He'll see me through my uncertainty, past all life's adversity. Through my crystal green eyes, I can finally see how life's supposed to be. Thank you.
Fare thee well for Uncle Bill. In that great getting up morning, fare thee well, fare thee well. In that great getting up morning, fare thee well, fare thee well. Sunday mornings at Auntie Rose and Uncle Bill's house meant piping hot scratch biscuits that melted sweet butter into pools on contact. Crisp slab bacon with the crunchy rind that made it twist and pop hot grease in the cast iron fry pan. Eggs scrambled and browned just enough so I could eat them because I couldn't stomach wet, runny eggs. But the best part of Sunday mornings at Auntie Rose and Uncle Bill's house was watching Uncle Bill perform his naturally elegant Sunday go-to-meeting dance. No man cannot hinder me, no man cannot hinder me. Church wasn't Mama's ritual, but it was at Auntie Rose and Uncle Bill's house. I didn't much care for that church as a child, seeing as the kids there treated me like I didn't belong, hurling taunts and insults like pointed daggers at my fragile soul. But still, I'd rise up as if preparing for worship, simply to watch you. I'd pry myself out of bed early just to watch your Sunday morning swing, when you bounded down the stairs with your freshly oiled mocha skin, trimmed mustache with liberally sprinkled salt and pepper, sporting silk socks, leather lace-ups, and stocking cap waves so deep and tight, it'd make you seasick. In that great getting up morning, fare thee well, fare thee well. You park at the kitchen table all powdered and pressed, sitting like an invincible king perched upon his throne. Little did I know, you weren't invincible, just frail humanity playing a cutthroat game of craps with mortality. No man cannot hinder me, no man cannot hinder me. Clouds of men's sweet cologne permeated the air, mixing with the curls of smoke from that insidious cancer stick. Deep coughing that shook you down to your soul, hacking, ripping, tearing moments from your lifeline. Emboldened youth compelled me to snatch death away from your hands, but you protested and took one more drag. In that great getting up morning, fare thee well, fare thee well. Clean, crisp white t-shirt, pure as angel's wings wrapped around you, tucked tight into those crisp black belted slacks. Shirt buttoned, necktie knotted, jacket on, readying your soul to preach God's word. Yes, Sunday go to meeting ready, but one last drag. No man cannot hinder me, no man cannot hinder me. 12 years young is too soon to learn about death's upper hand. That cancer stick did you dirty because the dice were loaded, the game was fixed, and not in your favor. Red radiation marker drawn all over your chest, mapping the poisonous destruction under the surface. Your voice weak, sunken eyes, sharpened shoulders. I watched you wither away before my eyes. Your moans and grunts of pain hung like thick fog in the air, everywhere. My king slumped upon his throne, desperately fighting that death cloud that choked the air from your lungs. In that great getting up morning, fare thee well, fare thee well. In that great getting up morning, fare thee well, fare thee well. I watched them load you into the back seat of your sleek black Cadillac, a bony shell slumped over with your head in her lap. Somehow I knew you wouldn't come back home. Don't know how. Not long after, they cut you open to dig out disease, but it was too far gone. Its poison filled your organs and flowed through your veins. No man cannot hinder me, no man cannot hinder me. When you awoke, the knife had stolen your voice. Mama and Auntie left me in that cold, antiseptic room. I saw you, helpless. You looked at me, eyes wild, hands grasping at who, what? Absolute desperation in your eyes. My heart dropped and fear paralyzed my soul. I cried, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to help you. I ran to the door in search of salvation, not sure whether it was for you or for me, but no one was there. I ran back to you, seeing my king waning, accepting his fate and conceding defeat. You grabbed my hand and our eyes locked. My throat tightened, but I whispered, "It's okay." And you relaxed. And I felt the shift that began the crumbling of my world. Spirit broken, I knew you would leave here soon. In that great getting up morning, fare thee well, fare thee well. I woke up and felt strange as I slept in your bed. Something told me to rifle through your nightstand, looking for what? Why? It was dark, and I heard the shuffle of footsteps. Bright light flashed like the heavenlies under the door. What was going on? I opened the door, and I knew. Mama wrapped me up in her arms and told me you were gone. No man cannot hinder me. No man cannot hinder me. I didn't know my heart could ache so deep. Your aunt's absence snatched my joy and stole my youth all at once. I wanted so much for you to stay, but they said I was selfish because you were suffering, and I didn't want that. I wanted my invincible king back on his throne, all powdered and pressed, floating on clouds of men's sweet-smelling cologne, bounding down the stairs to do your Sunday go-to-meeting dance. No man cannot hinder me. No man cannot hinder me. Years have passed, but your absence is a palpable presence in my life. For me, Sunday mornings are hollow with the specter of years past hanging over me. When I do pry myself out of bed preparing for worship, the emptiness I carry is an ever-present reminder that I miss your Sunday morning swing. But I must confess, despite the distant tinge of 12 years young sadness, I still love to remember your Sunday go-to-meeting dance. With the cloud of men's sweet-smelling cologne, and the Sunday go-to-meeting dance reminds me I'll see you soon. And until then, you're with me for always. In that great getting up morning, fare thee well, fare thee well. In that great getting up morning, fare thee well, fare thee well.
My poem is called Don't Cry Over Boys, and it's dedicated to my one and only big sister who is 19. You taught me how to ride a bike. You taught me not to cry over boys. You taught me how to defend myself. You taught me how to smile through hard times. You taught me how to reach my goals. You taught me how to style up my outfits. You taught me how to be a girl. You taught me not to care what others say. You taught me how to do my hair. You taught me how to be inspired. But most importantly, you taught me how to be myself.
Batter up. When I was 14, I still had my innocence, blind to what the future had in store for me. A high school baseball player just trying to knock the ball out of the park, not knowing I was about to strike out. Strike one was being around the wrong crowd, just trying to find my place. Strike two was feeling like I had to try drugs to be cool. Strike three didn't come till the age of 20, when addiction took over my life. It caused me to do things dirtier than my cleats, swatting people away from me like gnats in the ball field. Now running the streets faster than I ever ran the bases. My next up at bat, a changeup is coming that I'm finally ready for. Ready to run the bases all the way home. Ready to get my life back together.
Good evening, everyone. Hi. My poem is titled Immigrant. Can you feel their screams? Can you see their fears? Immigration is submerging to hide in the shadows. Hands are extended, reaching for each other. Papa, Mama, hijos. Don't leave. My land is your land. Your land is yours. Tens, not tens. Confusions are made. I work hard. Can you feel their screams? Can you see their fears? There is pain below inside their heart. Divided as if you are diverse humans out of this planet. Can you hear their pains? Can you feel their screams? Can you see their fears? Humans out of this world. Who is the ruler? Rich? Politics? Religions? Stronger? We are. Where are we going if there is no place nor space to be settled? By, high. Can you hear the pains? Can you feel their screams? Can you see their fears? Can you touch their hearts? Love, my love. Their bodies are shattered and their souls are broken. Equality. Where to find? Freedom. Where to fly? Justice. Where to get it? Can you hear their? Can you feel their? Can you see their? Can you touch their? Pains, screams, fears, heart, tears are falling. Papa, Mama, hijos, bye, hi. My land is your land. Thank you.
Good evening. I would just like to say, first of all, is I am blown away again this year that we are blessed with so many races, different creeds of people, and that we all bleed the same blood and we all have the same message. I wrote a poem called Shadows, and this is a poem that when you're in your life and you've done some things, you might not think it's bad, but all of us here, sometimes you have to face what you fear the most, and that is yourself. And for me, Shadows became my coming out party. I decided that no more will fear stop me. No more will I think less of myself. I don't care if I am a prostitute. I still got a voice. And every person in here, sometimes you have to face yourself. And this is what I wrote. I said, thinking about my past and trying to figure out why this shadow keep looming over me. Trying to figure out what keeps me locked in this dreary mood of hopelessness. The more I think about the dreariness, the shadow looms larger every day. My days and nights are like haunting me. It makes me feel totally out of control and hating myself even more. Longing to be free of my past and free of the nightmare that haunts me. But suddenly it dawns on me that I need to forget my past. Learn to push forward and release the guilt that binds me into a never-ending shadow. Live free of the guilt. Live free and watch the shadows melt into nothingness. Then I watch the shadows disappear and lead me to be free. And when I say to be free, I made a decision last Sunday that I'm going to step out by faith. I don't care what anybody thinks about it, that this shadow is done. That's right.
My poem is called A Rise of My Voice. You empowered me into becoming who I want to be. You empowered me so that I could be a leader who always stays humble. You empowered me to allow myself to be who I want to be, not who any man or woman tells me to be. You encouraged our ability to fight for equality, every race, gender, or sexual orientation. You encouraged my passion for strength in every way. You encouraged me to speak up against injustices and to let my voice be heard. You empowered me to also speak for those who cannot themselves. You empowered me to persevere through hardship, for my time to bask in glory will present itself one day. You encourage happiness in mind, body, and soul. You encourage those who are outcast to turn their differences into their best quality. You empowered me to think that if he can do it, so can I. You once said, always stay true to yourself and never let what someone says distract you from your goals. Your empowerment and encouragement allow me to follow the path that I am building for myself and to let no one tell me any different. You help me guide my passion to the right direction. Another thing you said was empower yourselves with a good education, then get out there and use that education to build a country worthy of your boundless promise. The first time I heard this, I wanted even more to rise and to turn myself into a person who can make a country worthy of the boundless promise I will one day become. Thank you.
I feel I belong a little more with a cane. Thank you. Martin Luther King Jr. Martin Luther King Jr. shares Twitters and treats, meet friends and share meats, share joy and praise and kindness, a plan for the future, a plan where peace has lots of room. Unity forward seems leads us beyond what each of us thinks were possible to dream. To care, possible to care. Unity forward seems, and the child has dreams. And the child has dreams. Unity forward seems, and a child, another child, has dreams. Like Martin Luther King had a dream, he has a dream today.
I am what freedom looks like, the creation of my ancestors, the dirt that became a beautiful flower. On the outside, I may be 5'2", but on the inside, I'm 5'2" of pure sass and attitude. My skin is beautiful. My chocolate is who I am. I am the colors red, brown, and yellow. Red for the blood that runs through my veins, brown for the soil I am made of, and yellow for my bright and shining soul. Like a volcano ready to erupt when bothered, but I am as mellow as a streaming river. I am a crow sitting back observing my surroundings, but ready to fly away when I feel troubled. I am the words on the paper, the feeling in between the lines. A young girl wanting to know the real meaning of life, too scared to express herself, knowing how society will view her as. I may walk the streets head held high with a little pep in my step, ready to break free and see the world from my point of view and not others. But I know I'm not ready yet. I physically believe I'm ready, but I know mentally and emotionally I don't even know what the starting line looks like. Being the child of a single-parent household with 2 other siblings is like you're the forgotten one. Even with the sibling that isn't even around that much, you somehow slip everyone's mind. But I'm not going to look down on my father. That's my best friend, my main squeeze. I am the true definition of daddy's little girl. But my mama is my rock, my heart. Windy and barren, I am their creation. I am Asante.
I want to start by asking how many know what a roux is. R-O-U-X. What's roux? What is it?
Butter, melted flour.
That's right. It's flour with some sort of oil and it's cooked. And you use it to either start a sauce or a gumbo or something like that. So you're going to hear me talk about roux. I want you to know what it is before I say it. All right. The poem is called We Are Gumbo People. You know what gumbo is? You don't have to go for that.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
We're with you.
Okay, good. So, to make good gumbo, you got to make the roux right. If you scorch the flour, you have to start all over again. We are gumbo people. Our roux been scorched by betrayal, by a torturous trek over savanna, over swamp, over sea. Our roux been scorched by auction block, snatched separation, by a thing called slavery. It been scorched by whiplash, by midnight creeping massa, scorching your roux black with terror, with shame, with throat begging for mercy that don't come. That roux no good no more. Roux that been beaten, lynched, and stolen out of us, gone. Original roux thrown much away, except for retentions we keep in our rhythm, our rhyme, our resilience. Had to start over. Start with some half-remembered memories before the scorching. Start with new healing herbs that look sort of like the old ones. Start with trying to remember healing words used by the elders to invoke order out of chaos. Can't remember. Can't quite remember. Had to start with hand memory, catching babies as they come. Had to think up, dream up, pray up, new ways to survive. Had to make enough to want to stay long enough to leave enough for those who come in after. Had to make new roux from old, add new spices to the pot. Fire still be fire. Fire still cook. We are gumbo people, from a roux half remembered, half new.
My poem is entitled Testify. A lanky, slender, green-eyed boy with a heart of gold. Only 13 years on this big planet, and there was nothing you could tell me. Young and tough, abrasive and abrupt. Yearning to fit into any mold I could find. Approval from my big brother made me flash my chip-tooth smile. Had the swagger and style of a young, wild child. But I was anxious to grow up. Young enough to move fast and too old to slow up, or so I thought, until the hustler showed up. Man, anything he sold I bought. And this would carry me into a 23-year-old man with poisonous wisdom. Those green eyes darker now, even tougher because I'm a part of the system. Future was uncertain at best. Missed my mom's voice, the soothing of her call in my mind, interrupted by the chant, young man, you either get right or get left. Behind the wall is another world of careless freedoms. Hope gone from my mind and body, but I will not be defeated. Just needed some perspective. I'll treat it as a song from my De La Soul, with me, myself, and I as the feature. Yeah, eclectic ever since I was young. Little man, big plans. Humming sentimental songs until my sentiment was sung. And my mama laughed sarcastically. Boy, you got the voice of an angel, but the devil blessed you with that tongue. Soothsayer, ray contour, except behind the wall I'm left speechless like the words fester on my tongue. Only peace of mind I had was in writing. Power in words, inspiration like Malcolm. Let the moon through the windows be my lighting. But still they fester on my tongue. And I find myself wondering, was I this restless when I was young? But I had to persevere. Pops always told me, boy, you start anything, you never rest until it's done. So I never let hope die, not even an option, because I look to the future and I know for certain my best is yet to come. I thank you for lending me your ears. For now, my testament is done. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Leslie, and this is my praise poem. I'm a mixture of black, brown, and caramel. I'm covered with the precious soul of a helping hand. I'm from where the people talk and the good ones walk. I'm surrounded by a group of tough love. I'm the melody of the piano, the words of a song, and the heart of a body. I'm from where the sweet cranberries grow, the nice hearts show, and the mothers know. I can walk and talk and thank God every day for waking me up. I'm the daughter of a 6'1" man and a pleasant ma'am. I'm pure and sassy. I'm the protector of an 8 and 11-year-old. I'm from where the grass grows, but not too long. I'm from where justice is right in many ways. I'm from where jobs is important and not a hobby. I'm from New Jersey, purely made, blessing be.
This is called The Greatest Debate I Ever Won. Hard times require furious dancing. Alice Walker. I am from Jim's Never Give Up, You Are Important news bulletin. I am a late bloomer, but ooh, yeah, now I'm dancing. I am so far from Good Morning, Pollyanna, those words that cut like a serrated bread knife, and you wouldn't stop. I am so far from please step on me, doormat. I can't stop you. And you never listened when I said no. I am from here to there and going everywhere. I am from I get to choose. And I don't want that ugly in my bones. I don't want that nasty in my mouth. I don't want that hateful in my cells. I am from a sensibility that knows when a thing is right, so I know when a thing is wrong. Nobody's right if everybody's wrong. I am from a mountain that told me, get up, get going, breathe, and then exhaled its own choice of fire. We start the fires we choose to light. Well, let me tell you, I got sunshine on a cloudy day. I got the forest green flame licking at my toes licking the chocolate earth I move. And I ain't never looking back, 'cause hard times demand furious dancing.
Okay, my poem is called I Am From. I am from persevering through every incident that comes my way, knowing that what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Truth be told, if you treat people the way you want to be treated, respect will conquer. I am from not listening to what the negative people say, because when it comes to my golden dreams, I will let them get in my way. I am from cuddling in my covers, watching television, grateful every day more and more, knowing that I was blessed because I know there are kids in countries that live in poverty and are very poor. I am from trying to set the bar high for the generation behind me, because as my daddy always told me, you can do better. I am from ignoring the haters, and whenever somebody tells me another person is talking about me, I say, let him. I am from long nights thinking about what I was going to wear the next day. I like fashion, and so did my grandmother. My mom always tells me I remind her of my grandmother in every way. I am from being the best I can be, feeling free, never copying the plea because, hey, life's a luxury. I am from keeping negative thoughts off my mind, staying on my grind, because the message that I am powerful will be consigned. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. This is called My Best Friend. My best friend loves me so much that my best friend gave me everything. My best friend gave me love. My best friend gave me heart. My best friend gave me strength when I was lost. And when no one was there, my best friend was. My best friend took everything from me. When I was homeless, begging for change, my best friend was by my side. Robbing, stealing, shooting, and running the streets with my best friend. With my best friend, I could do anything, everything, except get rid of my best friend. Everywhere I go, my best friend is with me. My best friend is not a girl. My best friend is not my kids. My best friend is not my mother. My best friend is not a dog. My best friend is my best friend. My best friend is a disease. My best friend goes by the name of addiction. Drug addict, junkie, dopehead, and fiend. My best friend does not discriminate, nor is it racist. So respect my best friend. Nor is it racist. Black, white, orange, green, even blue, my best friend will leave you. So respect my best friend, because it just might be you that my best friend will choose. I am not my worst enemy. My best friend is my worst enemy. Big, small, tall, even short, for richer or for poor, nothing or no one matters. My best friend will consume you all. Only through sobriety, my best friend is caged. Every day my best friend talks to me. So I turn away and say, we are no longer best friends, but enemies. I'll never forget you, but in a cage you shall stay. My real best friend's name is sobriety, abstinent, drug-free, recovery, and sheer will. Together, we put my old best friend to a deep sleep. Sweet dreams, addiction, through me you shall not eat, and in a cage you shall stay. So I bid you good night and farewell, addiction, junkie, dopehead, fiend, drug addict, gone but never forgotten, my ex-best friend. Thank you.
Eat, Pray, Love, an Ode to Nana. Eat. Manja. How to roll meatballs, how to crack an egg with one hand, how to make cookies, how to bake bread, how to break bread, how to choke a chicken, how to cook by taste, how to feed many with very little, how to stuff my face and not feel guilty, and to always wear stretchy pants to dinner. Number 2, pray. To hope, to dream, to have faith, especially in the hard times, to count stars, to count blessings, to give thanks and praise, to learn to be content in all circumstances, to trust in the Lord with all my heart and lean not on my own understanding, to pray for friends as well as my enemies, and when in doubt, look to the sky. Number 3, love. How to hug, how to feel, how to snuggle, to never break a promise, to show respect and demand respect, to know the difference between sleeping with someone and sleeping with someone you love, the importance of I'm sorry, the importance of forgiveness, to see one, do one, teach one, you always said, to be brave, only for a second at a time, be humble, be kind, and above all else, guard your heart because everything you do flows through it.
Hello everyone, my name is Joseph Ellis and my poem is called Mama Told Me.
Mama told me to love my culture. She said that I must take pride in where my family is from. I disregard all those hateful comments. I ignored all the nasty words they said, like stupid Hispanics or go back to your own country. I'm Hispanic, that ain't no crime. Not one thing could shade me for being who I am. I love my culture. I love the delicious empanadas my mother makes for us to enjoy on a beautiful Saturday afternoon. I love the delicious tamales we have on Sundays after church. I love my religion. I love my culture. Mama told me to love myself, and so I did. She told me that who I am is who I should want to be. She said she loves me, so why can't my son love himself? She'd say, she reminded me that I mustn't let anyone change me. She used to tell me, no importa lo que ellos te dicen. It doesn't matter what they tell you, but it does matter what I tell you. She was always right. She'd tell me to be myself no matter what. Mama told me to disregard those who bring me down. After all, those that mind don't matter, and those that matter don't mind. If they're my friend, they won't say anything nasty about me. Mama told me not to let myself be pushed around. She told me not to let anyone lay a finger on me. Si te golpean, if they hit you, don't stand there and let them beat your ass. Defend yourself. Mama told me to work hard. She'd say, if I succeeded in this country starting from nothing, you can succeed now that I've given you everything. She'd inspire me to work hard and appreciate everything. She'd tell me, no puedo cagar dinero, I can't poop money. Yet she'd still surprise me with gifts here and there. She'd tell me to work hard and it'll bring me happiness. Mama told me to care for others. Everyone mattered, so I should keep a place in my heart for them. And I did. There is a special place in my heart for everyone. Enemies, friends, they have earned themselves a spot. They all deserve happiness. Mama told me a lot of things, which I hold true to my heart today. I love you, Mama. I really do.
I told you there would be tears, right? Mama, you did something right. Another round of applause for all. I love my job. They say if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life. And for the last 24 years, I have not worked one day. I might have been tired. But I want to say, I promise you laughter and tears. And y'all, if you heard something that touched your heart, please, after when we go have cookies and punch, let them know that you've been touched. And I want to thank all the readers. Will you just stand up and round of applause, all my readers. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I have an uncle who always says, and my uncle is one of those who, pick cotton, he's a manual labor, and he doesn't understand what I do. He said, Glenis, you haven't worked, you don't work. But y'all, this is mental work. This is emotional work. But I was built to last, as Jackie Robinson says. And I want us to use that as a model when things come and try to get us. I'm built to what? Last. We are built to last. Okay, so we're going to get on from here. I'm just going to do a couple of poems to wind us up, and I want to end us. And my readers have heard this, but I've been doing it a lot this year because this poem, you know how you live in a family and you don't thank people in your family because you take them for granted? You know I love you. That's how we do, right? So this is the poem from my brother who was really my father when my father could not take those fatherly roles. Learning how to run. Before teaching me to run, you taught me how to listen. Remember when I didn't want to buy track shoes for tryouts? I just wanted to run in my old Chuck Taylors. I asked you, what if I ain't any good? You said, trust me. I did. We went to Sam White's department store, brought pearl white Pumas. You taught me how to tighten my cleats, how to walk in like I own the place. Even though we didn't have what Mama said, a bucket to piss in or a window to throw it out of. You taught me how to be humble, how to pitch my weight forward, how to anticipate the gun, how to get on the mark, ready, set, and go. How to come out of the blocks low and early, how to stay in my lane, how to fall, but how to also how to ignore the haters, but definitely talk trash if needed. So when some white runners on Southside track team called me a nigger, you had already taught me this pocket-ready reply. I'm not a nigger, I'm a Negro. When I become a nigger, I'll let you know. You taught me how to stay focused on the finish line, how to be propelled by the wind, how to kick at the end, how to respect what God gave me, fast twitch muscles with a need for speed, how to race only against the clock, never your opponent, how to win, how to lose and not think my life was over, how to know that there's tomorrow, there's always another race, and to know that track is a sport but also a philosophy. How to run and not get weary. How to put one foot before the other. How to lean into life head first. And again, I want to thank you all for coming out tonight. You could have been anywhere on this Friday night. And I just want to say thank you so much for coming. And all my readers that read, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. And even my readers who did not read, but you showed up. You wrote, and that's what's important. So keep on writing. We write, W-R-I-T-E, to write, R-I-G-H-T. You feel me? Right. We write to what? Right. Okay. This poem is one that I wrote here. I do a lot of writing in New Jersey in the Heldrick Hotel, because when I go home, I got a lot of duties. And so I'm always busy doing something, and I really can't wait to get back to, I got 2 men in my life, but the major man in my life is my grandson, who's 2 years old. And I just, yes, 2, yeah, 2. Terrible, terrific 2s. And I just love him so much, as well as my daughters. They're the ones who made me a mother, and I can't wait to celebrate my mother on Mother's Day. Y'all, if you got a mother in your life, make sure you do something. If it's nothing but a card or a poem. And yes, and remember our mothers who are here, because they are with us. They are still with us. We should honor our people every day. It's a shame that we have to have Mother's Day. But even, like you said, in absentia, we honor. We keep their memory alive as long as we talk about them. As long as we live in the way that they would have us to live, it's every day. This poem was written in the Heldrick Hotel, and I was just trying to think about what poetry does for me. And it's called When Poetry Blooms. A poem will hit you in the face. Cast petals of light, illuminate. How you waste too much time on work and worry. How you count grievances instead of grace. A poem will reflect how you have poor-mouthed your life. Hand into fist clench instead of palms open wide. A poem will teach you that every day is an offering, even when the petals fall. Grieve not the seasons, but be wise. Understand what we love circles. A poem will take your breath away, like that cherry blossom tree that steals your breath every spring, but only to show you how you've held your lungs too tight, like green buds, withering and waiting for exhale. A poem will shape you into seeing how everything is more than what you've been trained to see. Loss and lack of color. Not green, but saturated mint. Not pink, but jewel-toned magenta. Some sorrow, even if we can't make it out in the moment, is a mercy. You just want what you want when you want it. And like a knife, poetry will either gut you or heal you. Either way, you'll be open. Poetry will take you on a journey. It is a fluent grace of feet and hands and arms and heart, leading you to your doorway, fingertips poised toward your tomorrow.